What's up y'all, Kirk here, and welcome back to the Geek Effect. I have another figure review for all of you in today's video, and I'm very excited about this one because it's for the Marvel Legends series Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. Now this figure right here is probably one of my most anticipated figures to add to my collection this year for many reasons, one being that this is the first appearance suit for Spider-Man in the comics, first being seen in Amazing Fantasy number 15, and the second being that this is the first time in a while that this suit has been made. I believe that the last time we got this suit as a figure was during the Toy Biz Spider-Man Classics days, and that figure is about 21 years old, so it's about time that we got a new version, and I was really pumped to see Hasbro reveal this during one of their Marvel Legends streams. One last thing before getting into the review is I want to give a quick shout out to Billy Moon over on Instagram for actually providing me with the Amazing Fantasy figure along with the Renew Your Vows 2-pack, which I'll eventually do a review on. I'm looking forward to getting that one unboxed as well and taking a look at that Spider-Man because that also has toe articulation, which is awesome, but let's go ahead and get into it. This rendition of the suit from Marvel Legends does make improvements here and there that differ from the Toy Biz variation, and overall, in my opinion, creates a new experience for owners of the original and new collectors like myself. Now, it has been some time now, and we've been seeing more and more of this style of packaging hit shelves, but this is one of the many figures that we've seen from Hasbro that ushers in their new plastic-free packaging. For my first time having this style of packaging in hand, I honestly don't have much to fuss about when it comes to it. Yes, it is a bit sad not having the figure in a plastic window that we're used to, and there are some concerns that come with that, but once you push that to the side, I think that the design is pretty clean and a fresh spin on what we've gotten. For starters, we have a box in the same shape we've seen with the plastic window boxes, but slightly smaller than usual. At the front, we have a render of the figure in a pose, along with the words Amazing Fantasy in that style we saw on the comic cover. On the sides, we also have another render of the character with the Marvel Legends logo, and the flip side features the iconic shot we saw on the cover of Amazing Fantasy number 15. At the top, there's an emblem for Spidey's 60th anniversary, the Legends logo, and a bit more artwork for Spidey as well. The back of the box features another render of the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man in another pose, and you get to see all of the accessories included here with this figure. However, this is where I'm a bit disappointed because with the prior packaging, we used to have brief read-ups on these single-release figures, and now it seems like Hasbro's doing away with that. I personally feel that it added a little extra character to the packaging and just that whole feeling when unboxing it for the first time. So although it may not be 100% needed, I'll still miss it for a bit. Unboxing this figure is an experience that's different from the norm. This time around, instead of a plastic tray, we have this cardboard cutout that holds the figure and its accessories in place, and all those items are placed within these paper bags so that nothing is loose inside. It's a very simple process, and the neat thing is that you still get to keep the material for storing your figure back in the box if you want. Setting the box aside, we do have everything included: Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, a web swinging effect, swappable hands, and 2 pairs of web wings. At first glance, the figure is a solid recreation of the suit, and it turned out pretty good. There's a lot of detail to enjoy here, and I think that the Marvel Legends team definitely killed it with this one. Moving in closer to the figure, we have a better look at the detail that went into this thing, and kicking things off, the head sculpt does look accurate to that comic book look, plus it does appear to have clean paint apps too when it comes to the web lines. Working your way down the torso, you get a look at the rest of the suit's details with more web lines, the Ditko spider emblems at the front and back, and sculpting all around that brings out those muscular details of the character. A highlight for me when it comes to this figure is definitely going to be the all pinless body that keeps it looking super clean. This was a detail that I wanted to have on my retro card, Symbiote Spider-Man, and even with that classic red and blue suit, obviously that wasn't there, but they're starting to get more used to using pinless bodies now when it comes to characters, and I'm hoping to see more of that in the future. As for the colors on the suit, they came out pretty well in my opinion, with the reds being bright and the black having a lighter shade rather than a darker tone, but something I would have loved to see here on this figure could have been a cel-shaded look for the suit, as seen on the cover of the comic, but this is just a thought and not really a complaint. I'm aware that not everyone digs that whole cel-shaded look on their Legends figures, and even for me, sometimes it looks a bit off at times, so this could be part of the reason why they opted not to do that, and sometimes simple can be better. As mentioned earlier, we get some accessories to go with Spidey, starting with these swappable hands. When you first unbox the figure, he comes with a whipping hand and a wall-crawling hand, and these both have reverse versions if you want to pair them up with one another. In addition to that though, there's also a pair of fisted hands and gripping hands too that are meant to be used with those web swinging effects that we get from Marvel Legends. The gripping hands do hold a decent grip on these web effects, and I'm hoping to see this sculpt used more for other Spideys in the future because it really sells that gripping look, especially if you're into toy photography and perhaps want to use some custom web effects with it. Underneath the biceps, there are slots to peg in these web wings, which are another feature of the suit. The figure comes with 2 different styles of them, folded down and spread. They do have some nice sculpting to them, and they are in this translucent plastic, which does look very nice. I do think they look good at the front, but when it comes to the back, the spread wings do overlap and cover the back, which doesn't look too good. It's a neat accessory to have for this suit, but at the end of the day, I probably won't use these too often, to be honest. The articulation on this figure is actually pretty dang good and showcases just how flexible Spidey can be. There's a 360-degree rotation in the head with a fair bit of tilt here and there, and the hinge has some far range going back and forth. When it comes to the torso though, there is some nice articulation all around. You've got butterfly joints, shoulder rotation, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows which show off those pinless joints, and wrist swivel with the ability to tilt them up and down. At first glance when raising the arms, they do seem to stop right about here because of the section of the shoulder, but with a bit of force and maneuvering, you can maximize that range and get them even higher. The butterfly joints do lack a bit in their range when pushing them back, but if you want to extend that range, be sure to check out this mod from Nico Hodge, aka Artman Customs. It's a fairly simple process, and by doing so, you can get the most out of this figure for posing. The diaphragm cut also has a 360-degree rotation to help with posing, and although it can't tilt back and forth too well, the crunch at the waist solves that problem. I do like the style for the diaphragm though because it stays flush with the ab area and leaves little to no gaps. When it comes to the legs, you can kick them up pretty far and they raise this far up at the sides. For the rest of the articulation, there's swivel in the thighs, double jointed knees, and swivel at the calves. You can also tilt the feet back and forth and rock them side to side. Once you get to messing around with the figure's articulation, you'll see just how posable it can be, and it's actually a lot of fun. I believe this is the exact same mold that's used on that 90s animated series and upcoming Amazing Friend Spidey, so if you've been planning on getting those figures for your collection, this kind of gives you an idea on what to expect from those when it comes to the articulation. Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man is a real treat for collectors and was definitely a worthwhile addition to my collection. It's a nice recreation of the suit with good details and articulation that allows you to hit some neat poses. With the celebration of Spider-Man's 60th anniversary, I feel that this was a solid choice to make for this lineup, and aside from those limitations in parts of the articulation, I don't have many gripes with this figure, and I'm overall satisfied with it. In the end, this figure is hands down one of my favorite figures of the year, and it may even be my number one, but we'll have to wait and see. I do hope you all enjoyed this review though, and if you did, be sure to give it a like, and feel free to share your thoughts on this figure in the comments below. Let's go ahead and talk about it, because I love talking about these types of things with you all whenever I have the chance. I also want to tell you all thank you for supporting the Instagram account when it comes to the Geek Effect, because I've been working hard over there and you guys have been showing your support as much as you guys can, especially recently. We just hit 1,000 followers over there and that's absolutely phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to continuing to grow with all of you, especially when it comes to the channel soon, which we're right around the corner from 1,000 here, which is also truly exciting. I hope you all have an amazing day though, and I'll catch you all soon. Peace out.